All right, we're back, guys, and here's what we're doing this time: Island Lonely. So, this is a cycling deck. It is just guys cycling. So the point of this deck really is to cycle as often as possible, and there's a few cards we have that can kind of help us, I guess, to win. Flourishing Fox looks like our play for now. Um. Flourishing Fox looks like it's our play for now. This is Jeskai, by the way, so it's Jeskai cycling. Which for the uninitiated, Jeskai is blue, white, and red. For those that are not in the know. So we have our Jeskai cycling deck. That's going to be kind of a problem for us. I'll play this. We'll do Drana Stinger because that super helps, and that basically just means that I don't need, you know, anything else. So this is good. We have I'm not going to attack. We have the companion here, Zerda, which every card in our deck, each permanent card in my deck has an activated ability, which cycling is. And abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate, reducing their mana. Can't reduce their mana cost to less than 1, so it can't make things like free. But basically, this deck is sort of solitaire in some senses. Like we really don't um we really don't care what our opponent is doing for the most part. That's not something we really care about. So we can just keep cycling a bunch and just dealing damage to our opponent that way. And I'm gonna say no. I don't really have a way to remove these two death touchers outside of Zenith Flare, which I would want to use on face for the indirect damage to like win usually. But yeah, this deck runs Zerder for free, which a lot of decks can't because Zerda is a very strange companion like requirement. Um I am gonna decline. I'm not paying 2 life. That's a very hefty cost. That is a very hefty cost. Yadara was another win con of ours. Um, we have another Yadara, which is hilarious. Um, and I can cycle there. So we have 2 Yadaros in the deck. If I get 4 of them, I'll put 4 in because that's I have this deck IRL and modern. I have a 4 color cycling deck. I'm gonna get rid of black and make it just Jeskai. And this deck, a lot of people at my locals when I'm playing this deck in modern, that they remark about the potential this has, um, which is not often that a deck can transfer from arena to a paper format easily. Usually, it's really challenging to do that, but there we are. So we're cycling a bunch, um, and he might have something to deal with this, but I don't really see it, and it gets kind of complicated. Um, I already played my land for the turn. That's 17, so I have game. Yeah, yep, that's it. Good game. Yeah, good game. So that's how this deck works. Basically, hope you get a Zenith Flare. And Drana Stinger is really good because it makes it so you don't have to have it makes it so you don't have to have 20 uh for your Zenith Flare. And also just you cycle so much that it does so much damage anyway that even I've won games just with Draenei Stinger, just with multiple Draenei Stingers alone, and not even seeing Zenith Flare. There's combos where I've won with Zenith Flare, and a Flourishing Fox, where sorry, not Zenith Flare, a Dr- Draenei Stinger and a Flourishing Fox, where I just Draenei Stinger. We're off to a slow start. I didn't want to cycle immediately because then I wouldn't have a turn 2 cycle, and I wanted to be able to cycle, twice in a turn. I want to be able to play something and cycle it for that value, and so that's why I didn't cycle immediately because I wouldn't have been able to cycle 2 on the next turn. And we're going to actually play this Flourishing Fox. We're going to cycle this card. Hopefully we draw a non tapped land. We do not, so we'll have to play this land tapped. So this is not as good of a start, but the Flourishing Foxes will be our win con most likely. Um, Tesselara, okay. Oh, we have okay, we have that. That's really good. Um, so I'm gonna cycle Vizier of Tumbling Sands just so I can guarantee that I can. Okay, Dranith Stinger. I'm gonna cycle. Can I get a land off of this? I cannot. But I will attack with Flourishing Foxes. Um, that is. Hold on, 6. That is 11 damage. If you're. Yeah, you just took it. Fair. That is completely fair. I would have blocked it if I were you, but you're thinking that you have so much life gain in your deck that you'll be able to gain more damage than I'm dealing, but that's not the case at all. Um, really, that isn't the case. So I'm actually gonna just. I could Zenith. Yeah, and he just leaves. That's fair. That's totally fair. You can't keep up with my cycling, and that's what I like about this deck. Is it's good against life gain decks, and usually burn or like some type of damage based decks like the one that I'm doing are bad against life gain because they can life gain faster than you can deal damage. But in this case, no, because I'm cycling an insane amount of times. Like it's stupid. The amount of times that I'm cycling is dumb. I mean, I it's hilariously stupid the amount of times that I'm cycling here. We're doing a turn of setup because I want Drain and Stinger because I want to just get that ball rolling. And we can afford to do it. I like this art here. It's like a very medieval art style. There's like a lot of tapestries, like famously the unicorn tapestry, or like um, wherever it is the Bordeaux tapestry or the Bayeux tapestry, which depicts the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Similar thing, similar art style, and I just love it. If you guys have a chance and you're anywhere in New York City or near New York City, go to the Cloisters. It's part of the Met Museum, but it's where they have all their medieval stuff, and it's on a different site that's very beautiful. There's also just the medieval galleries at the actual Metropolitan Museum of Art itself, and they're impressive too. But the cloisters is where they have like the real like crazy medieval stuff. They have a small thing at the actual Met Museum just to be able to have it so that people can see everything in one building. So if they want to be able to see some medieval stuff on top of the other offerings at the Met, they can. But if you want to only exclusively see medieval art, which is my favorite style of art, one of my favorite styles of art, you got to go to the cloisters. It's beyond impressive. Um, really, get the ball rolling on Yadaro. And we're good. So this deck is shaping up beautifully. It's kind of stupid, this deck is, honestly. It is kind of like really stupid. I like this. I like the extra mountain. I do really like the extra mountain. Alright, so I'm cycling a lot, which is what this deck wants to do. Just cycle like crazy. It has kind of longer turns, but that's kind of your plan. Okay, so I didn't think you would have game this turn, so I should have Zenith Flared or something like that, maybe. Got rid of one of his monsters or whatever, but I just keep thinking I only want to use Zenith Flare on face, but yeah, I'm learning this deck too. Just like anything else. I'm newer to Magic. I'm not like I say this in some of my videos when it comes up when it's relevant, but like I've been playing Magic for 5 years since like 5 and change. Like I started playing late 2018. Ravnica Allegiance was the newest set at that time. So just to give you an example, like I don't have all the game knowledge yet. I'm not like a veteran and know like the perfect plays to make every single time. Have better knowledge than an absolute beginner for sure, but I wouldn't say that I have a crazy amount of game knowledge yet. So I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning. I actually want to play the Draenith Healer. Just because I feel like there's gonna be some shenanigans where I'll take a lot of damage. I don't really know. And I do want to attack just because I want to get rid of that card. I don't really care about my Flourishing Fox too much. It's not important to me. Maybe it is, and I shouldn't have done that, but I just didn't want that card to be like in my way. Read ahead. Okay, so you don't read ahead. You could, but you don't. You got interesting card sleeves. Is that a cactus hat? It is a cactus hat. That's cute. Um, okay, I have 2 secluded steps. That's why I'm doing it this way. Um, cycle those out, and then play Draenith Stinger. And now I have like a slightly less version, a slightly worse version of Lightning Helix on 2 sticks combined. Make it that like it's one. It's a one, but it's like can be better in some instances potentially because I can cycle a lot more. All right, do this. Cycle Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Untap the Rogran Triumph that I just played. Vizier of Tumbling Sands again. Rogran Triumph. Vantasaur. Cycle that. Go for blood. Cycle that. I'm just gonna attack. And next, I have. Well, do I have it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5. Yeah, I do have it with the next. I do have it because I could attack with both things, and then you take the 2, and then I could do it that way. Either way, it's fine. But I think startling development, I think, is the best way to do it. Just cycle this. Yeah, and then Zenith Flare to the face. That's the safest way to do it. And then I win this game. Yeah, I was gonna like I could have attacked and then since it would have been reduced, then I could have just flared. But I think it's safer because you could just in case there's like a weird zero cost something I don't know about. I don't know. Zero cost things are rare, but like I don't know all the cards that are available in Arena. And this is historic, by the way. Historic's my favorite format because it's the closest thing Arena has to modern. Um, and timeless, you could argue, oh, that's closer to modern because modern's got. Well, there are some cards that are in modern that are in timeless that aren't in historic, but at the same time, you know, it's just strange like that. Yeah. Um, we're gonna cycle this immediately. I get another land, but it is a tapped land, which normally doesn't matter, except in this case, it does. So what you do in an instance like this, I think, since you're not going to be able to play Grand Stinger that turn anyway, because it's come in tap, what you do is you cycle first, and then hope you get a land that doesn't, you know what I mean? Or you could just do that. Um, yeah, you could just do that. And then also have to play a tap land the next turn probably. But I'm getting the ball rolling. In a way, actually, I'm gonna do this and hope I draw a land that doesn't come into play. No, I do not. Well, I'll just do this then. Um, I can play you come in tapped, so that's fine. I'm getting some cards. How many cards do I have in my graveyard? I have 5. So I'm getting the ball rolling. Oh, Yadar. Do I want to start the countdown on Yadar or do I want to do Drain the Stinger? Yadaro, I think, is the way to go. Start the countdown on Yadaro because that's a game ender in and of itself. I've been drawing. Okay, there's my other land. There's another land. I've been drawing a lot. I don't. The blue. I have blue in case I need to play any of these, like Vizier of Tumbling Sands or like Startling Development or any of those types of cards. Like in case I need to play them. Um, but I'll play a Drain Stinger. Do you have it? No, you don't. I'll play another one. You don't have any, so I'm cycling Imposing Vantasaur, Drain Stinger triggers. You're playing something 5 colors. I don't know what, but 5 color decks usually aren't good against decks that have a clear game plan that they get out either quickly or in my case relatively quickly, but not quite quickly. Okay, so that's fine. I'll do that. Um, I'll just keep cycling these cards um over and over again. Um, and I'm actually out of cards to cycle, so that's why Vizier Tumbling Sands. Oh, that's why I have blue because Vizier Tumbling because some cards require blue specifically to cycle. And Vizier Tumbling Sands, I don't. I might get rid of this card only because there's other cards that are more generic cycling costs. But they're not like it's good only because like it allows me to do shenanigans with like Rock and Triumph or other stuff like. But you know, I don't know. But we'll have to see about that. Really. But that's kind of where I'm at with a deck like this. Um. Oh, I have game. Yeah, I have game. Take it. Come on, take it. Ha, you take it. Okay. Yep, I have game now then. Yeah, Zenith Flare. You took the 2 and that was enough for Zenith Flare. You have blue up. You could counter this. If you run counter spells, you could counter it. You don't. But that was a real possibility. And that was a real concern on my part. You could have countered it. I should have been a little more careful. Oh, platinum tier 1. I'm almost to the whatever the next rank is. I forget what the next rank is. But you might witness a rank up in this video. Who knows? But yeah, this deck, if you grind it out enough, this deck can get to Mythic. And I have gotten to Mythic before. Once. With this deck. And that was years ago. Like, pre-MH3, like, this was, like, in, like, around the time that Ikoria released that I got to this level. Now, this is a bit of a slower start, but I like the rest of the cards in my hand, so foolishly I'm going to keep it. Because I just think it's great. I just think it's really, really good. So I'm going to keep it. Okay. I need to cycle to get a land that doesn't come into play tapped. And I won't find it, so you just come into play tapped. That's fine. So we're both playing pretty fast decks. You're playing mono red aggro, or rather, sorry, not mono red aggro, mono red goblins. You're playing goblins, which is a pretty good deck. So I think I want a Draenith healer rather than a Draenith stinger in this case, because that kind of, like you can do damage to me at a pretty alarming rate with goblins, can kind of pop off. So that's why I'm doing this. And it provides a body, so I can block one of your 1/1s also. It just gums up the board for you and makes it hard for you to actually do anything. Yeah, Crank goes command. I thought this would give it haste. I don't know why I thought that, but I just thought they would give it haste. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna cycle. And I'm cycling. The gaining life is pretty important against goblins. I don't gain that much life like right now, but over time, if I cycle enough, I'll gain a decent amount of life. I won't go anything crazy. I'll be up to like maybe 25, 26 life or whatever. So there's that kind of stuff, but the flourishing fox would be really cute, but I'll only cycle that if I have to, because that's another way that I could get a big card on board. Okay, so I will have to cycle that. I could have played it, but I wanted more, cycling shenanigans. Yeah. So this is kind of what this deck does. It's almost solitaire-like in a sense that I don't really care about what my opponent's doing. Like if they remove my stingers and healers and like flourishing fox and stuff like it, yeah, it's annoying. But those aren't the main win con. Those really aren't the main win con. And I have gain with direct damage to face. Yep. Because of Zenith Flare. This deck really just does it. And did we get a rank up? Yes, we did. Let's go. Diamond tier 4. We're in diamond with this deck, guys. And now that we're in diamond with this deck, I'm seriously considering making this a series of using this deck to see how far we can get. Because I've not been up to diamond with a deck in a while now. I've not been up to diamond with a deck in a while now. So the caliber of player, it's a massive jump between platinum and diamond. It is a massive jump. From what I understand, it is a massive jump. Um, from what I understand. So they are playing much better decks now, from my understanding. Now I could be wrong, but Ruin Crab. So you're milling me, which helps me if I already have Zenith Flare in hand, which I do. So that is amazing. That is awesome, and I thank you very much, my kind sir. I thank you very much, my good sir. I'm gonna cycle the Lonely Sandbar, I believe. Um, Now I am helping his strategy. We're helping each other's strategies. I am helping him because he wants to mill me out, but he's helping me because I want to do damage with Zenith Flare. Okay, so now I'm basically I gotta get um into that zone of things. So I'm not even gonna look at any other cards other than my two Zenith Flares in my hand. He's probably like, "Oh, this is the wet dream for me." Like I'm gonna deck him out. Look, he's cycling so much. But oh, I'm gonna take him out in one turn if he's not. In fact, that's my plan. Just sneak up and take him out in one turn. Um, yeah. So now I have lethal. I have game. So unless he has that card that mills like half your deck, there is a card that does that. So unless he has a card that mills like half your deck, I don't know, like what is he even playing? He's confused about what I'm playing. Why am I cycling so much? That's a cool effect. I like that. So yeah. So he's wary, he's cautious. For sure. He just passes the turn. Okay. That's a problem. He has 5 blue mana up. Is he playing some kind of counter spell? Gosh, now I have to worry about that. He might be. I'm gonna Zenith Flare to the face anyway. And let's just see if he has a response. Yeah, he has a response, which is fine. Which means that I'm just not gonna play anything. Um, how many other Zenith Flares did he get? None. He got no other Zenith Flares, so I have the rest of them still in my deck. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, another one. You have to stop that one too. You got to stop that one too. I'm forcing you to deal with these. Um, I'm cycling Yadaro. Okay, did he get my other Yadaro? No. He did, yes. Did he get... He got another Zenith Flare, right? Hold on. 1, 2... Yes, he did. Alright. Okay, I draw the very last one. You have an answer in your hand? Yep, you do. So, that looks like it's a good game for me. And there's nothing I can really do, because he's gonna just deck me out. I had, like... I want to check how many cards I actually had. Yeah, 5. There's no way. I had 5 cards left. There's no way. He was helping my Zenith Flares out, but he had counter spells. It's a weird deck to play against. I, you know, I could have. There was an argument to be made for playing the Dran and the Stingers. He could have countered those or something. I don't know. But the way that I see it, right? Oh, white rice. I like that. The way that I see it is like, yeah, that's kind of how it fell. Um, Ankle biter. So he's playing something. I don't know what he's playing, but he has a creature on board already, and that's a problem. Kind of, but not. It's not a good creature. It's just a creature, and I don't have one. Or he's like starting off, but does he have a? Is he playing something? No. Okay, that's totally fine. Get Yadaro started because Yadaro just wins games outright if I pull it off. Um, Yadaro outright wins games if I can pull it off. Alright, play my planes. Play you. Cycle the secluded step. I'm gonna be cycling a lot, so he's gonna wanna like be pretty quick, unless he wants these games to take forever. That's the only thing is if you have something to react, if you have something to activate in response to my, okay, you just take it and can attack with it. That's fine. I never block with this anyway. Do I get it back? I do get it back at the end of the turn. That's fine. I never like. I never like. Actually, there's an argument made to keep the Drain of Stinger for healing purposes, but that's the Drain of Healer for healing purposes. But it's fine. Okay. So I would need more red sources of mana. Well, that is a red source. It comes into play tapped, but it is a red source. Um, and red sources are red sources. I will attack. You have a thing that, yeah, and I can, okay, nice. I'm just gonna say nice because that actually was a really good play on his part. I did not think about that. So you're playing like a battle trick type thing where you like want to prevent your opponent's creatures from attacking. I don't attack that often, but actually I'm gonna cancel because I want to see if I can draw an untapped red source. I'm greedy, but I want to see if I can draw like a um, basic, a basic mountain. Doesn't look like I'll be able to necessarily, but we'll see. No, so we'll just play that then. We're not going to attack. I learned my lesson the last time. Now, Zerda, we don't really use Zerda that often. It's just here for free, basically. Like, I can run this for free in a deck like this. That's a good card, for this situation. Like, you're just playing, like, a lot of, like, you know... Oh, because it has Death Touch! Okay, that's brilliant, actually. That's pretty smart by her. I would not have thought of that. I didn't know that Death Touch interacted like that, or maybe I've forgotten that it did. I don't know. Did I ever know? Um, I can't tell if I ever knew. Um, really. Gonna untap that blue. I'm just gonna keep cycling. So if you have stuff to activate, oh yeah, you can activate the treasure token in response. That's why I don't like treasure tokens or like clues or map tokens or stuff is like or blood tokens, because it's like they're just like you can always activate it in response to something, so it always prompts you to activate it. And like no, I don't want to activate it here. No, I don't want to activate it. No, you got to keep saying no like a bunch. Like, you gotta keep saying no like a bunch of times, and it's kind of annoying. Goblin Gang Leader. Okay, that's very cute. That's really cute. Tandem Takedown. Okay. That's actually very good. That's actually really good. Because it forces me to have to play the Flourishing Fox. as my kind of alternate win con for now, or my like secondary win con. Now you have to have something where the death touch is relevant, or just leave behind the death touch. Oh God, what is that card in your hand? Oh man, am I feeling greedy, bro? I'm a Jund Flare normally, but I gotta think like Jeskai here. Mastery, really? No, I'm red. I'm a red player. Never say never. Okay, you didn't have anything. Thank fuck. Oh, I thought you would have something, dude. Okay, we're up to 3 with Yadara, which is hilarious to me. That we're up to 3 with Yadaro. Come on, Yadaro. Okay, nay. I have one more chance to get Yadaro this I do not. Oh, 2 more chances to get Yadaro this. Oh, that does it next turn. And I don't see you having a card that really pops off and does something crazy. Um, in the long, yeah, that does it really. If you have no response, that does it. Okay, I'm just gonna attempt to play this. You're Gruel, so you don't have an answer. Yep, that's how you do it. Man, I love this deck. This deck is just hilarious, bro. It wins most matchups. The only things it doesn't win are some mill decks where they have a lot of counter spells. So they just counter your Zenith Flare. If they don't have a lot of counter spells, then you win the matchup because they're helping your Zenith Flares get stronger. But if they have counter spells, then you're just cycling a bunch, and so you can't like you gotta like in a matchup like that, you gotta like Flourishing Fox to fly under the radar kind of thing. Um, you know, so we're on that Flourishing Fox to Zenith Flare game plan. That's kind of our thing. That's kind of our thing right now. So Hanweir Militia Captain. Hanveer. Triome in case the color matters. It happens to not. We actually will play a Drannith Healer next turn because I do want to get some healing. That is something I do want to definitely do. For sure. Like, absolutely. That is something I definitely want to do. I have a lot of red. I don't have a lot of anything else. But I need something to come into play untapped. So, that's totally fine. Um, I need blue and an untapped white source. That's what I really need. Okay. So you were transformed in your night form. So this day and night cycle matters for some of these cards. In this card, it matters. Toughness equal to the number of creatures you control at the beginning of your end step. Create one with lucky. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll take the 5 because I will be healing quite a bit. And untap the white source. That's okay. Drainus, do I drain? Yeah, no, I think I drain the stinger. That's fine. I think I drain a stinger. I think that's what I do. I think that's what I do. Absolutely for sure. I think that's what I do here. Um, no, I shouldn't have attacked because that. Yeah, I just want to get rid of cards on his. Okay, Authority of the Consuls. That's fine right now. All my creatures are already on the board. I don't care if they come in untapped because it's when they cycle that it does stuff. I'm gonna go no on that actually because I'm gonna cycle this. Um, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna keep cycling because I just need cycle stuff. Um, and yeah, I can't cycle anymore. So now the play is to add Zerta to the hand, and I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna leave Flourishing Fox behind as a blocker. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, so you gain quite a bit of life, which is annoying for me. All right, so I will have to block. I'm gonna block with you. Do I take? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Um, do I do this? Simply because I don't really have another answer. I actually could have because that's an instant. I could have waited actually block this thing and then, but um, yeah, I think it's over at this point. There's really nothing that I can do. Yeah, and at that point, you're playing. So, yeah, at that point, that's game. I don't really have an answer to that. I don't really have an answer to that. That's not something I have an answer to. So we'll just we'll move on to the next one, and I think the next one will be the last. I don't want to end it on a note where I like lose necessarily. We'll open a Bloomborough pack. I like to open packs on the videos just because it adds a little bit of mix up here. Repel, Calamity, Agate or Agate, Blade Assassin, whatever. Peerless Recycling and Repel. Okay, that's fine. It's whatever. We'll do one more, and if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. Um, it's really that simple. This deck requires you to get like a really good like draw. Like it requires you to like really start off strong. Um, I have Yadaro turn 2, which is hilarious. So I will Plains Flourishing Fox, then Mountain Yadaro to get the Yadaro counter started on this thing. That's what I'll do. Um, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. So put all the lands together. I like to group lands together just so I know how many lands I have and of what color. Um, get the Yadaro, start cycling that. Shuffles back into the deck. That's fine. You're playing some. I think it's Big Red because Big Red likes to run Arena of Glory because Arena of Glory you basically exert a big red card that doesn't have haste already and you give it haste. Dragons also like to run it. I have a dragon tribal deck in Modern that runs Arena of Glory. For that same reason. We're gonna play the Drain and the Stinger. We could do more damage with Flourishing Fox, but I think this is ultimately the better play. Oh, Boros. Okay, Boros something. Selfless Samurai. I don't know exactly what that does, but we could have drawn to an untapped blue source, so I should have maybe waited. But I'm just thinking that, um, yeah, no, I'm thinking that it's fine. And I will attack with this, and you might choose to, you don't choose to block it. Okay. So that creates an interesting dilemma. I think I win the game because, yeah, so this is what I do. I cycle a bunch. Oh, well, lifelink. Well, that throws a wrench in things, I think. It might not. It might not. It might not. Untap the rocker and trio. It might not. Um, it might not throw a wrench in things like I think it will. We'll see. The plan is to cycle a bunch, and then um, we'll just see. Yeah, no, it did. It did throw a wrench in things because my plan was to like cycle a bunch and then attack with two things. But he also has another card, so you can just block twice. But my plan was to attack with two things, and then one of them got through, and then it became after I cycled a bunch and got Drain Stinger pings. Um. Okay, so I think I just this is a Drain Stinger win. I think I had to cycle 4 times, which I will be able to do. Do you have any way to gain? No, you have just one Arena of Glory up. So I don't think you have it. Yeah, and that's that looks like it's it. Yes, that is it. Woo! Okay, that's awesome. Now, one thing I forgot to do in a bunch of my videos that I'm gonna do now, and I probably should do it before the start of the video, is to show you what all is in the deck. That's one thing that I never completely um did in some of my videos, which I should have done. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to show you here. We have a flourishing fox at 3. Whenever you cycle, it puts a +1/+1 counter on things. That's good. Drain of Healer at 3. Whenever you cycle, you gain life. That's good in aggro matchups where that life kind of matters. It's also good in like just trying to stay alive, last ditch efforts, things to stay alive. An extra life is never terrible, but there's usually better things to do. But this is good against aggro matchups. It really does help. Startling development doesn't matter. You cycle this for 1. The effect is irrelevant, but um, you can actually make this so that a creature, like if you have a 7/7 or a 10/10 or whatever, you can make it so you only take 4. So that's not terrible. I guess I should pay attention more to that at some point. Strand Stinger deals 1 damage whenever you cycle. That's just dumb. It's honestly one of the best cards in the deck. It adds up so much because you cycle and if you have multiples of these, it's like crazy. Go for blood. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. We're not really fighting in this deck. I mean, Zerta could fight some things. Yadaro definitely can fight some things. Flourishing Fox, actually, now that I think about it, you could go for blood with Flourishing Fox to fight stuff if you need to. But like I said, Drain of Stinger, Drain of Healer, unless it's a 1/1, you're not really fighting stuff. The next card you have is Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Untap another target permanent. So basically, you can untap a target permanent, or when you cycle it, you can untap a target permanent. This is good, but I'm debating whether I even really want it. I don't know. I'm debating that because there's probably other cards that cycle for just one, but this does allow you to do some kind of crazy shenanigans about untapping your Rogran Triumphs to get 3 colors to in case that matters for stuff. Zenith Flare, best card in the deck. It's just hilarious. It wins you games. Like if the opponent's not ready for it, it wins you games. You deal X damage and you gain X life, where X is the number of cards with cycling ability in your graveyard. I mean, it's just hilarious. That's just straight funny, dog. Okay, Frostveil Ambush. This doesn't matter. You just cycle it for 1. Again, you can tap 2 target creatures. They don't untap 3 next controls untap step, but for 5 it's expensive. You're using this for the 1 cycling. Again, Vantasaur, you're using this for the 1 cycling thing. It's a Vigilance 3/6, but you're using this for the cycling. This is relevant, fun enough in Modern. You would actually use this card for its being a creature, but you'd use it in combination with a card called Living End, which takes a bunch of stuff out of your graveyard. So you never cast this card for free, but it is a free creature with Living End, so you're never going to pass that down, no matter how bad the creature is. If it's free, you know you'll take it a lot of the times because free is free. Boon of the Wishgiver. As a 6 to draw 4 cards, that's pretty decent, but you're not using it for that. You're really using it for cycling. If you have like super late game scenario and the stars align, you can use this card to draw 4 cards. It's pretty silly. Yadaro, I have 2 of these. Um, I would like to have 4, but I just simply don't own 4. I'll get 4 in this deck eventually, and it's a really good card. I just took Yadaro out, but then I put it back because this card low key is kind of broken if you get it out. Like I don't know, it does work in Modern, and Modern is a much harder format for a deck to do well in than Historic. So yeah, and that's good. For sure. And then we go on to the lands, 4 planes. Um, just standard. 3 secluded steps. So secluded step is one of the lands that came out. I forget what set that was, but there's a whole thing of cycling lands that are dual lands, and then there's an earlier set where, much earlier set where they had a cycle of lands or a grouping of lands that are monocolored lands that you pay the 1 color that it taps for to cycle it instead. So like this is a mono white land. It's like but it enters tapped, but it's definitely very good if you have enough lands and you draw it. So it's good. Island, again, 4 of these. Nothing too crazy. Lonely Sandbar, we only have 2 of them. I actually don't know why. I have no reason for this really. I don't. Forgotten. So now we're gonna go to Mount. We're gonna say out of order. We're gonna go Mountain. I have 4 of these. That's good. Um, Forgotten Cave. Again, same thing. It's part of the cycle. I don't know why I have 2 Lonely Sandbar, Forgotten Cave, but then 3 Secluded Steps. I don't know why I have it that way. I'm curious to know myself. Yeah, I really don't know why I have that way. Um, I don't. I might fix that. How many lands are in here? 23. So I might fix that just so that it's 20. But then 22 lands is kind of weird. Then I have 4 Rogran Triumph. It does have cycling for 3, which does play with this deck. So it's you could use it for that, but often you're using it for the fact that it adds to your deck's 3 colors, which again it does enter in tapped, but at the same time, you know, you know, it, you get your 3 colors, so you're not really screwed for colors often with this card. And it's Jeskai, and I'm not a massive Jeskai fan, but this is a Jeskai deck that I really enjoy. You know, it's fun. It's kind of off the wall. It's a little different. You don't see it that often anymore. When this deck came out in Ikoria, it was broken and really, really good until a few other things came out after it that kind of made this deck very good, but also people just got bored and wanted to play other things. understandable because this deck is very solitaire like. You just kind of don't really care what your opponent's doing that often, unless he has counter spells. If he has counter spells, you care, in which case you play around them, and that's some counterplay. But a lot of the time, you don't really care what your opponent has. Really. Yes, so that's the deck, guys. Jeskai cycling. Right here you can see Zerta. Jeskai. Oh, I forgot to show you. Um, just real quick, sick Zerta art, alternate Zerta art. I just wanted to show you that because it's really sick and I like it. Yeah, so that's the deck, guys. Jeskai cycling. You know, it's just great. So yeah, there we go. That's the deck. Don't forget, guys, if you liked the video, to like the video, and if you liked it so much that you want to subscribe, you can subscribe to my channel. And I have Mondays and Fridays are Magic the Gathering content, and Wednesdays is Age of Empires 2 content. I might bump up the Age of Empires 2 content to more, so stay tuned for that, only because that is a game that requires you to be good, and any game that requires you to be good requires you to practice a lot to do so. And so I might start streaming Age of Empires 2 either on Saturday or Sunday, streaming on YouTube as well. Yeah, stay tuned. I'm starting another channel in the next couple of weeks that has to do with art and my drawing and painting and sort of that kind of thing. As I see a little more success in my art career is taking off, and this is something I want to do as a side, and it's also for fun, and I enjoy it, and I love sharing my love of probably my two favorite games. Smash Brothers Ultimate is up there as well, but I don't know. I might film that. I don't know. They kind of compete with Age of Empires 2 in a sense that you both got to be good at those games. They both require practice, and I kind of want to save some time for Magic. So I had to pick one, and I think Age of Empires 2 is one that I'm gonna pick. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, peace. Peace out. Bye. Like and sub if you liked it and all that.